They say curiosity is a dangerous thing. Sometimes it's better not to know, to just live in your bubble, to believe in the version of reality you've carefully built. Because once you pull at a loose thread, the entire fabric can unravel. That's what happened to me. The night I followed my wife and discovered a truth I never saw coming. Let me take you back to where it all began. We had been married for 4 years. A solid marriage. Stable, loving, respectful, or so I thought. Her name was Everly. Strong, brilliant, beautiful. The kind of woman who could light up a room with just her presence. She was everything I had ever wanted. But lately, she was different. Distant. Distracted. She used to talk endlessly about her day. Now she barely spoke at dinner. She started working late, more often than usual. And her smile, it looked like a mask she put on for show. At first, I convinced myself it was stress. Work deadlines, maybe she wasn't sleeping well. I made excuses over and over until one night I saw her phone light up. She was in the shower. I glanced, just a glance. The notification read, "Meet me. Same time, room 17. My stomach dropped. Room 17? Why is he being secretive? I should have ignored it. I should have respected her privacy. But something inside me had already broken. I didn't confront her. Not yet. That night, she came out of the bathroom, towel in her hair, humming. "Everything okay?" I asked casually. She smiled. "Yeah, just tired." And that was it. She climbed into bed beside me, curled into my chest, like she always did. But I couldn't sleep. My mind raced with images, scenarios, questions I didn't want answers to. The next day, I installed a tracker on her car. Yes, I know how that sounds. Yes, I hated myself for it. But if there was something going on, I needed to know. That Friday, she told me she had a late client meeting. I watched her get dressed in front of the mirror. Black heels, red lipstick, perfume I hadn't smelled in months. "Big meeting?" I asked, pretending to scroll through my phone. "Very," she replied, without looking at me. She kissed my cheek, grabbed her purse, and left. 10 minutes later, I got in my car and opened the app. The tracker was working. She was already 10 blocks ahead. I followed her, slowly, carefully, making sure not to get too close. She wasn't heading to her office. She was driving away from downtown, out of the city. My palms were sweaty. Every possible explanation, every bad thought ran through my head. Was she cheating? Was she in trouble? After 45 minutes of driving, she pulled into a small, shady motel. Not a hotel, a motel. The kind of place you rent by the hour. She parked, sat in her car for a moment, then got out and walked straight into room 17. No hesitation, just like the text message said. I parked a few cars behind, heart pounding in my ears. What the hell was going on? I waited. 5 minutes, 10, 15. Cars came and went. No one else went into room 17. I took out my phone, hovered over her number. Should I call? No. I needed to see this through, so I waited longer. Eventually, I got out of the car, walked slowly to the room, stood in front of the door. I didn't knock right away. I just listened. Muffled voices. One was definitely hers. The other, a male voice. Young, maybe a teenager? What the hell? My hand trembled as I reached for the door. And then It opened. Emily stood there, startled, like she'd seen a ghost. "Jordan?" she said, barely above a whisper. I looked past her, and then I saw him. A boy. 16, maybe 17, sitting on the edge of the bed, eyes wide. He looked like her. No, he looked like us. She stepped outside, shut the door behind her. Her voice was shaky. "Why are you here?" "I should ask you the same thing." Her eyes filled with tears, not the guilty kind, the painful kind. She said, "That's my son." I froze. "Your son?" She nodded. "Before I met you, I was 17. I got pregnant. My parents, they forced me to give him up." I stared at her, unable to process. She continued, "He found me last year. I wasn't ready to tell you. I didn't know how, but he needed me." I felt like I was falling. All the suspicions, the paranoia, and none of it had prepared me for this. We sat on a bench outside the motel. She told me everything. His name was Liam. She had met his father in high school. He bailed the moment she got pregnant. Her parents covered it up, shipped her off for a few months, forced her to give the baby away. She'd tried to move on, and she had, until Liam sent her a message on Facebook last year. They'd been meeting once a month, secretly, just talking, trying to reconnect. She hadn't told me because she thought I wouldn't understand. And honestly, I wasn't sure I did. We drove home in silence. My mind was a whirlwind. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to shout, to blame her. But how could I? She was trying to heal something broken, long before I ever came into her life. Over the next few days, we barely spoke, until one night, she came into the living room with an old photo album. She sat beside me. She said, "This was him, the day I gave him up." A tiny baby, wrapped in a blue blanket. Tears streamed down her face. "He's my son, Jordan, but I want you to be part of this, if you can." It wasn't a demand. It was a plea. I had two options: walk away from the woman I loved, or stand beside her and accept the boy who was part of her. I won't pretend it was easy, but love isn't always comfortable. Sometimes it's choosing forgiveness. Sometimes it's rewriting your idea of family. I met Liam again, properly this time. He was cautious, so was I. But over time, something amazing happened. We started building something new. Not perfect, but real. If you'd told me 2 years ago that I'd be raising a teenager I didn't know existed, I'd have laughed. But life doesn't care about your plans. Following my wife that night almost destroyed us. But it also exposed the secrets we were both too scared to share. It forced us to grow, to confront the past, to forgive. Sometimes the truth is painful, but living in lies is worse. So if there's something you're hiding from someone you love, or if you feel the walls in your relationship cracking, talk before someone goes looking for answers in the dark. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more powerful, true stories.